What do we want? Girls' night. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Girls' night. When do we want it? Now! Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back. So since there is no sign of this lockdown ending, well not for me anyways here in Ireland, don't know about the rest of you, I thought it would be a nice idea to bring girls' night to us since we can't go to girls' night, you know. Something I am missing so much and have been missing so much in the last year is just going out for some drinks with the girls or even just having a night in with the girls. Like the chats, the gossip, you have a giggle, you have a drink, you have maybe a little fall and you end up with, you know, 5 or 6 stitches. I miss them a lot. So I popped on my Instagram, asked you guys, have you any stories, have you any questions? Let's just have the chats and use pull through. There's actually some really interesting topics we have to chat about today, so are you gonna do it with me? Oh, that is music to my ears, honey. Music to my ears. Let's dive right on in before the wine starts hitting Jessica and she starts going on many a tangent that she should probably not go on the internet. So let's go. Okay, so the first one we have here is ex broke up with me months ago because I mentioned about living together. Now he's asking to live together. I genuinely would love to know how many people have found themselves in this situation over the past year, because I feel like the living together conversation has kind of been sped up because of the whole pandemic and because of the whole lockdown, because most people's options were either basically, you know, move in together during the lockdowns, the continuous lockdowns that just aren't going away and there's no end in sight. Anyways, it was either move in together or have to be apart for the whole lockdown and possibly go months on months without seeing each other. So I feel like so many couples had to make the decision, and a lot of couples actually broke up at that point. Like they were like, look, don't want to live together. Then they stayed apart and realised that they actually weren't missing each other, that they weren't really invested anymore, and then just decided to cut ties. So what I'm picking up from this is that you obviously mentioned about living together during the whole pandemic, because you're saying he broke up with you months ago when you mentioned about it, and now months later he's like, actually no sign of that pandemic going, I'm a little bit lonely, played the feel a little bit, you know, do you want to kind of do that living together thing? This is, I wish I knew how long you guys were together here, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, does it really matter? But in saying that, if you have been together years, and you mentioned about living together, and then he decided to break up with you, I personally think that is a huge red flag, because if you've been with someone years, and you know, I feel like there's a line, once you go past that line, like you've been with somebody so long, I don't even know what that line is, but once you go past that line, you know, you have had all the conversations about your future, you are very committed to each other, you are very invested, this is a long-term thing, you know, you see each other as your end game. Like I feel like once you've been with someone a period of time, so if you have been together years and he just decided to leg it when he heard moving in together, I feel like that tells you everything you need to know. And I feel like him coming back now, I don't think you should be like, oh my god, he realised what he lost and he wants me now. And yeah, that is probably fucking true. I'd say he did realise what he lost. He realised what he had in you. He realised how amazing you were. He realised that you were literally probably offering him a man's dream, like, you know what I mean? And he was like, nah. I'd say, you know, he thought maybe that the lockdown would be finished sooner and was probably like, fuck that, I'm not getting like locked down, like he might have some commitment issues there. As I said, maybe he did go and play the field a bit and he realised that the grass wasn't greener on the other side, because I'm afraid to tell you, my darling, the grass isn't fucking greener on the other side, and a lot of people think it is, and I'm afraid to tell you, no matter how long you keep running down that field, you can run down that field all night long, work away, go on, but you're still going to come back looking for this grass because it's a lot greener. Yeah. You know, I said what I said. Something else that I feel like could very likely be happening here is that his ego has been hurt. Maybe he broke up with you and you didn't give him the song and the dance and like the world is ending, and maybe you weren't begging for him back and kissing his bloody feet being like, please stay. And maybe, you know, he doesn't like that. You'll also see this happen a lot. If a fella will break up with someone, that if you don't chase, they tend to come back, you know, because it's their ego that's hurt. But a lot of the time also, they're just coming back to be like, are you still there? Like, can I still have you if I want you? Okay, I know I'm gone on a right tangent here, but this has just made me so angry because personally I feel like if I was in that situation, I would not be taking it. I would not be taking him coming back, wanting to live with me now. If you wanted to live with me, you know that. You should know that. That shouldn't even be a, oh, if, buts, and whys. Now, if you have like the money, the finances to do it, and it was easy accessible, that's where I'm kind of talking. Like, if it wasn't really difficult for you guys to move in together, then I would not be taking it. It would be different if he was maybe completely broke, or you guys lived like half the world apart. But if none of them factors are kind of in the mix, I just wouldn't be taking this, because I feel like if you're with someone, you know if you want to be with them or not. And if you want to be with someone, like, you're going to want to like live with them, and you're going to want to start building towards that future together. Do you know what I mean? And then also that factor comes into how long you have been together, because the longer you have been together, I feel like the worse that person is, especially given a pandemic. Like, why the hell do you want to be away from your partner who you apparently love and adore and want a life with? I don't know. In case none of your friends have done it, you're not fucking listening to them, please. You can do so much better than this douchebag. Absolute douchebag is what he is. And please, don't give him what he wants. Don't give him that satisfaction, because he doesn't deserve it. If this was the person for you, you would not be in this situation. You wouldn't be in this situation. You'd be moved into your house together. Do you know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. Something's telling me this is going to be a long video. For whatever reason, whenever wine is involved, we tend to be here for half the day. But sure, that's what a girl's night is. Okay, my darlings, so the next one is, what is an acceptable time to start dating again after a relationship? I feel like people have very strong opinions on this question. And my personal opinion on this is whenever the fuck it feels right. And that is genuinely how I feel. I don't understand why people feel like they have to wait a period of time after a relationship. Like, to set that kind of limit on yourself in your head, I don't feel like it's very productive. I feel like the only time it is beneficial is if you have been in a very toxic relationship, or maybe you lost a lot of yourself and you feel like you need a period of time to like build yourself back up and find yourself again, and maybe just kind of fall in love with yourself all over again and not worry about anyone else. I feel like that's the only time it's beneficial. But if it's just a case of you're like, oh, I need to respect this person, or so and so and so, and if it's kind of that scenario, it's like, why? Like, what do you owe somebody who broke up with you, or, you've decided mutually to break up? Like, you aren't in a relationship anymore. You've now got to start thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about you and your partner anymore. It's just you. You now need to think of what you need. What's going to make you happy? What do you want? And what is that? Only you can answer that. Nobody else can give you that answer. So that's why I personally think like it's kind of crazy to put like that limit on yourself. Even though I know most people's advice would be like, at least 3 or 4 months. But I personally just don't agree with that. The other reason why I don't agree with it, because it has happened to me. And it happens to a lot of people. And a lot of the time you don't actually realise it's happened until you are out of the relationship. But a lot of people, without even knowing it, do grieve a relationship while they're still in a relationship. And a lot of people go through heartbreak while they're still in a relationship. And that's something that's not spoken about at all for some reason. I never hear anyone talk about that, but I went through that. I grieved a relationship while still in the relationship. And I only realised it once I was out of the relationship. So I feel like it's very unfair to kind of like box everyone into the same category, because everyone's relationships are different, everyone's experiences are different. Like, you don't really know the ins and outs of it, and unless you know the ins and outs of it, can you make a say-so on that question? But the only person who knows the ins and outs of it is you. You know what I mean? So with that, I personally wouldn't worry about anyone judging you, because I feel like that's why a lot of people are like, how long should I wait? Because they're like, oh, so-and-so is going to judge me and marry down the road, and what's Sarah going to think in the shop? Fuck Mary and fuck Sarah. Like, is it their life? No, it's not. It's your life. Did they see the relationship? Were they in the ins and outs? Did they see what went on behind closed doors? I don't think so, but you did. And if it feels right for you to start dating now, and if it feels right for you to be with someone, that's exactly what you do. Okay? We've actually got another one here, which I feel like ties in. Oh, I've got an itchy eyeball. that ties in quite well with the last one. So this one is dating first guy in 2 years. Going super well. When will I know it's relationship time? And she put like relationship time in like inverted commas. So again, quite similar, like on the same kind of topic, on the same kind of subject. I feel like this is also so common for people. Like they really overthink the beginning, like the early stages of a relationship, and really kind of go over in their mind, like, when should it be exclusive? Like, should we wait so and so amount of weeks and so amount of months, or should we have gone on so many dates, or should we have sex, or should we have not have had sex? And people just make it such a big thing in their mind. And I've definitely been guilty of doing this in the past as well, for sure. I feel like it's just like a really human thing to kind of like, it's nearly like a mechanism to protect yourself. Like, it's a protection mechanism, like, because you want to make sure you're making the right decision, and you want to make sure that, you know, you're not going to get your heart broken. So you're just trying in any way you can to protect yourself. But at the same time, I feel like we do ourselves absolutely no favours with this. I personally feel like it's kind of a form of self-sabotage, because, right, let's go back over this question, right? She's the first time dating a guy in 2 years. Going really well. When will I know it's relationship time? Right, it's the first guy I've chosen to date in 2 years. That's saying something. That is saying something, first of all. Second of all, going super well. You're clearly so happy. Now, relationship time. Like, to me, it signals that you are ready for a relationship, that you want to be in a relationship with him. Like, why do you need to put a time on it? You don't. If it's been a week, 2 weeks, 2 months, if it's been a year, like, it doesn't matter. If it feels right, I feel like, why not go for it? What have you actually got to lose? If everything in this moment feels right, that's all you can go off. There's no point in you like thinking into the future of like, oh, what is it going to be like in a year's time? You're not going to know that unless you try it and you test it out, you know? So all I would ever say on that one, if anyone's ever like, is it too early to get into a relationship? Have we been together long enough? It's like, do you both want it? Do you both see a future together? Are you both happy? Is this what you want? If yes to all of the above, then yes. Why do we make it any more complicated than it needs to be? I don't know. Can I just say, this wine is going down so well. Do you know what? I actually think I'm going to pour myself a second one. Because on a girls' night, I would already have my glass filled up to the brim. So girlies, fill up your glass. And if you're pregnant, oh my god, I felt so bad on my last girl talk. I was like, grab a glass of wine. And I had like a comment, one of you guys were like, I wish I could, but I'm pregnant. And loads of you guys liked it. So for my pregnant girlies, grab, I was going to say coffee, but you can't even have a cup of coffee. But just think of that amazing little human you're growing in your belly. Grab some diluted orange. Grab some Pringles. Some Galaxy. There you go. Galaxy. Just as good as wine. Right, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, if you like a boy, but he has a girlfriend, but he keeps saying they're going to break up, but they don't. Okay, so let's just break this down. Okay, sometimes I feel like, as friends need to do at times, we need to sit you down and take those rose-ass tinted glasses off your face. Because, oh boy, girl, you're living over in Mars and we're here on planet Earth, and we need to take you from Mars and plop you back down on planet Earth. Because, honey, where are you going? Where are you going with this? Like, I actually... First of all, why do you want a boy? A boy, exactly. I love how you call him a boy, because that's all he is. He's a little... That's all he is, a boy, not a man. You want a man. You definitely don't want a boy. Trust me. Been through enough of them. Just gonna, don't. Why would you want someone like this? Why would you want somebody who's in a relationship and is telling you on the sly? So first of all, they're being disloyal. They're betraying their partner. They're going against everything that they're probably telling their current girlfriend at the minute, and then 2 seconds later going over to you being like, oh, I swear I'm gonna break up, or I love you, babe, wanna be with you, babe, you're the one for me, you're fucking stunning, drop dead gorgeous, mwah, French kiss. Why would you want to be with someone like that who is playing two girls at once? Because if he is capable of doing that, if he's just capable of doing that, he's capable of doing that with you. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but it is. A leopard never changes their spots. They just don't.
It's just so much different, right? Then just say you compare that to a circumstance where someone's in a relationship, maybe they get really drunk, end up kissing someone on a night out. Like, he is literally doing this day in, day out. Like, he is so aware of what he's doing. He has no problem doing it. He's going home sleeping with his girlfriend, telling her he loves her, cuddling her. Like, she's probably thinking she's got the best man in the world, and then has you on a little string over here. You're in the same land thinking like, he's amazing, he's going to be with me, he's telling me everything I want to hear. But that's it. He's telling you what he wants to hear. Are his words equaling his actions? I don't see it. And I don't think they ever would, because he sounds like a little fucking arsehole, if I'm being honest with you. And absolutely nothing more and nothing less than a little fucking arsehole. Just think of how many billions of people there are in this world, okay? And you're chasing after a little fucktoad like that, who's got a girlfriend, who's making you all these promises, these sweet nothings, and not delivering, and he's hurting his current girlfriend, he's hurting you. He doesn't give a fuck though, because he's getting what he wants. He's having his cake and eats it. He's getting the best of both worlds in his eyes. The other thing with this, and this is something that I think of so often, and I feel like people don't think of like the problems that these kinds of things will cause down the line. Like, just say you got with this guy, okay? Just say he left his girlfriend. Just say tomorrow he leaves his girlfriend, comes to you and it's like, right, you're it, baby, it's me and you forever and ever. You know, no one's ever going to come between us. Are you ever going to trust this boy? Like, really, get honest and get real with yourself. Ask yourself the question, would you ever trust him? Would you? Because, I cannot see you sitting there saying yes right now. I cannot. And if you are, it's like you're in denial. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're making excuses for him and you're just kind of got the rose tinted glasses on, which we need to take off. And that's why I'm giving you this pep talk. Because you need to wake up and realise who the fuck you are. And who the fuck you are is not somebody who should be with a fucktoad like this. I could literally sit here and talk to you all night. One of you guys actually sent into the question box and it absolutely melted my heart. You were like, I don't know what way you put it, but it was something like, I'd love nothing more than to be able to sit in and drink wine with you. Oh, fucking hell, spit it out, Jessica. Jesus, you're making a meal out with this. You swear it was a good story. Like, oh no, I think I need to break the seal. Whenever I'm drinking, once I break the seal, I cannot tell you, once I break the seal, I'll be on the toilet every 10 minutes pissing. Every 10 minutes on the fucking dot. Like, I'm not even being dramatic here. It's an actual joke how much I will piss once the seal has been broken. Okay, girlies, I hope you didn't move on without me. I hope I didn't miss any of the goss or be fucking raging. Our next one is, so I really want to get married in the future, but my boyfriend isn't keen on the idea. Don't want to push him, but also it's quite important to me. How can we compromise on this? I feel like I really can put myself in your shoes with this one, because getting married is something that's really important to me. So I'm just trying to think, if I was in your shoes and the person I was with wasn't keen on getting married, and it was something that was really important to me, as you say, how can we compromise on this? As somebody who finds it really important to get married, because to me, right, how I see it is that, like, you know, I want to be a mum and I want to have kids one day, and marriage to me is just another level of commitment. It's just another step of that person showing me, I'm sticking around, I'm not going anywhere, it's you and it's only you and we're a team. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's how I see it as. It's security, and I feel like it is for a lot of women. And I know now these days a lot of people aren't interested in marriage, and a lot of people don't want to get married, and I do also get that side. But I personally don't feel like that's something I could compromise on, because there's no compromise here, unfortunately. It's either we get married or we don't get married. So one of yous are going to have to compromise. Like, normally compromise is where yous both kind of meet in the middle. So just say yous are both here, yous both come here. Unfortunately, with the marriage situation, you know, yous can't really do that. Like, it's either we're getting married or we're not getting married. So one of yous are going to have to compromise, and the other one is going to get to do what they want to do. So putting myself in your shoes, if I was with somebody and they weren't keen on it at all, but they knew how important it was to me, and they knew, like, how happy and all that would make me in the future, like, him not being keen on it, like, it's not going to make him ecstatic or over the moon if you don't get married. Like, you know, he's just not keen on it. But whereas you are really keen on the idea, idea and it's really important to you, and it's probably something that would make you very happy, because probably similar to me, like it's another level and it's another step of commitment. If him seeing how happy that made you wasn't enough for him to be like, you know, I'm going to compromise and like, I'm happy to get married because it's you I want to be with and it's us and it's no one else, and look, not mad about it, but I see how happy this makes you, so I want to do it for us, you know, for us, our relationship, us. Like, if they were open to that, like, I'd be really questioning it, because I'd be like, you know, what are your reasons for not wanting to get married? Like, what are they like? And, like, I'm just trying to think right now, like, what would be, like, a really good reason to not want to get married if it was someone you were so set on being with the rest of your life and settling down with and potentially having kids and a family and all that. Like, you know, I just can't think of anything. So I feel like it's something you're really going to have to sit down and kind of ask yourself, like, am I willing to give away something that is so important to me? Because I know I wouldn't be able, and if I was with somebody who was so not keen on it and weren't willing to kind of come towards me anyway, I'd be like, in my head, I'd really be thinking, is this the person for me? Because I don't think they are. And that is truly how I would be thinking if that was me in that situation, coming from someone else who marriage is very important to. So yeah, that would kind of be my advice on that. I am really rambling today, haven't I? Jesus Christ, take the wine away from me. Oh my god, no. Okay, this is a really bad one for me to answer. 2 glasses of wine deep in, but we're gonna do, okay, what do I do if me and my boyfriend of 2 years split up, yet we still live in the same house? And after a week post-breakup, he's already talking about hooking up with random chicks and bringing them home. This is such a hard situation, and my heart actually goes out to you so much. Like, you do not understand how much my heart is going out to you right now. I'm actually going to get a little bit emotional, I feel, because I kind of can really relate to you in a way, because like after my first ever breakup, right, so I worked in the shop, so I worked in like a news agent in my town for 5 years, and it was a really small town I grew up in. And after me and my first ever boyfriend split up, he used to make a point of coming into the shop that I worked in. Like, I remember I used to see him driving up and past the window. He'd be driving past the shop I worked in, looking in to see if I was working. If I was working, he'd be back in another couple of seconds. Like, he'd literally turn up the road, come back down, he'd come into the shop, and he'd be constantly saying shit like what you're saying here, like about getting with other girls. Like, I remember there was this one specific girl that I was really kind of worried about while I was with him, and he would always tell me, nothing to worry about there, you know, it's always the girls they tell you not to worry about, you know, that meme and all that. Anyways, it was her. And I remember one day in particular, he came into the shop that I was working in, and he goes, oh, by the way, just say her name was Sarah, I fucked Sarah last night. Like, laughing, walking out the door, slams the door behind him. Like, what is actually wrong with people? Like, actually, Jesus Christ. It's something that I've never been able to get my head around, is people who do that. Like, people who, like, you know, if there's been a breakup and then kind of, like, doing that in someone's face. Like, that you apparently loved and adored and cared about and would have took a bullet for them. Like, do you know that kind of shit? Like, what this guy is doing to you. Like, yous clearly moved in together and then things unfortunately didn't work out, and he has not got the respect for you. And don't even talk to me about respect after a breakup, because honey, I could tell you so many fucking stories up until a couple of months ago. Like, Jesus Christ, the disrespect we can get shown after a breakup is just unbelievable, and he is showing you exactly who he is here. And I feel like that's something that we often don't take from it, and it's something that I really took from my last breakup, is that like how somebody treats you at the end of a breakup tends to also be how they kind of treated you throughout the relationship. And if you kind of look at it, you will kind of see it. If you're looking at the disrespect he's shown you now, you will probably see a pattern of disrespect throughout your relationship. And I'd be very surprised if you don't, because I'm sorry, somebody who had genuine respect for you, who did love you and care for you, and, you know, like, there's no need. That's just really unnecessary. There is no need for that whatsoever, especially when you have spent a portion of your life with someone and you have committed to each other and you have given each other so much. Like, that's just something that makes me so fucking angry, is to disrespect people will, like, show someone else who has done nothing but gone above and beyond for them. Do you know what I mean? I know how hard this is, but what I am going to say is, he is showing you who he is. He is showing you the reason you are no longer together. He is showing you why you were so unhappy in the relationship. This is him putting on a gold plate right in front of you going, this is who I am. Look, see me in all my glory. Do you want someone like that? No, you fucking don't. He's trying to get a reaction out of you. He's trying to get a rise out of you. He's trying to see that he can still have you. He's trying to see that you still care and that you're still bothered by him. He's trying to show you, oh, I can have you whatever the fuck I want and you still care about it. Like, you're stroking his ego if you're reacting to this. That's all you're doing. Giving him what he wants. Like, oh yeah, pet my ego, baby. Pet me, make me feel better. Make me feel like the man I'm not. My best advice in this situation is, one, as hard as it fucking is, as much as you want it, as much as every fibre in your body is screaming to, don't react. Just don't react, because that's all he wants. And this is something that I somehow, unknown to myself, did successfully do years ago after my first breakup, and it will benefit you. Don't give him what you want, don't, because that's what he's looking for. The second thing is, get the fuck out of there as soon as you can. I know it's probably really difficult with the pandemic and with COVID and with money and with work and a lot of people at work and all of that, and I know that, I completely get that, but please, for the love of God, get yourself out of there as soon as you can. Even if you have to move back to your parents' house, as hard as that is, I get it. I get it, once you think you're out, and then having to come back, it's really hard. You have to face a lot of shit in your head and with yourself, but trust me, did it. So much more worth it than you staying in that situation, in that scenario. It's not going to do you any favours, Might take you a few months, might take you a year to get yourself back into the place you want to be, but you will be in a much better place than keeping yourself in the place you are currently in, because you're just going to spiral in that place. But if you do what you probably don't want to do, and I maybe have to go home, or whether that's moving with a friend or a family member or whoever that is, to get yourself out of that situation, yes, no doubt that it's going to be hard for the first while, but trust me, in the long run, you are going to look back and be so fucking happy you did it, because you did it for you and you took yourself out of a situation that was very toxic. He's trying to hurt you. That is what he's trying to do. Whether you can see it or not, he knows what he's doing. He's trying to hurt you. He's trying to make himself feel better. He's trying to stroke his ego. Let him do it. That's what I'd say. I'd say let him do it, but don't react to it. And I say take yourself out of it as quickly as you can. But yeah, fucking hell, I actually don't know. Do you know what? I genuinely wish we could all have a girls' night together. I wish we could all imagine how big of a room we'd need. That is what actually blows my mind as well, is how big and amazing this community is that we have here. And I just want to say, you don't understand how grateful I am and how thankful I am and how many hard times you have gotten me through. And I know that might sound so stupid to you at home watching it, being oh yeah, hard times, but really, if there were certain days where, if it wasn't for certain messages you sent, your comments or your words of encouragement and just your kindness and your love, I actually don't know where I'd be, and how many days you have gotten me through, and I cannot express that enough. And I just want my channel and my social medias to always be a place where you guys feel that in return, where you feel you can come when you're really struggling or having a hard day, or feel there's no one to talk to, and you feel accepted and understood and loved and cared about. I just always want my channel to be that, and also a place where we can have a laugh and we can have a giggle and we can pick ourselves back up. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel so lucky with the community that we have built here, that it is such a loving one, because I know so many communities on YouTube and on social media these days are just so hateful, and I am so lucky that our community isn't that. And I just want to thank you guys so much for that, and just thank you for sticking by me through everything, because I know these last number of months have been a little bit unpredictable and a little bit all over the place, but you have genuinely been my rock, and I love you guys through and through, and you don't understand that. I'm so grateful to you, and yeah, I promise I'm always going to be here for you in any way I can. And yeah, I love you guys. And on that note, I'm getting a little bit emotional. I think we are going to leave today's video here. Thank you so much for watching, my darlings. Thank you so much for sending in your dilemmas, your questions, your situations, and I promise we're going to be doing many more of these, because unfortunately it doesn't look like the world is going going to be back to normal anytime soon, so we shall make our own normal over here on this channel, okay? Okay. But yeah, I love you guys so very much, and thank you so much for watching, and just thank you for your support in general. I'm just so grateful for you guys, and I hope you don't mind your wine mom drunk over here, because Jesus Christ, she's doing it a lot lately, isn't she? But we're in a lockdown and all that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all super duper soon. Bye, friends.